neighbor to the rescue. This is the neighborhood he's protecting, calm and quiet. That was not the case, though, when one homeowner was held up in his own driveway. Now, that was this man's cue. This gun-toting Finnish businessman stepped in to help his neighbor. And after you see this story, well, you might want him in your neighborhood, too. Local 2's Ryan Korsgaard live with that story. And Ryan, this man is definitely unique.
Absolutely. Let me show you where he lives. He lives over here on this side of the street. On the other side is where his neighbor was being robbed. He heard something going on out here in the street, so he got his gun and tried to help. Rick Millarton responds when someone needs help.
I see this man running across all these neighbors' lawns, and I hear the screaming sounds from there saying, please stop him.
A neighbor in the 5300 block of Holly in Bellaire had just been robbed as he was getting into his car Monday morning.
Demands his cell phone, his money, and the citizen says, sure, here's everything you need.
But the robber gets distracted. The victim grabs the gun and yells. A neighbor across the street calls 911 and comes out with his pistol. The robber takes off. Neighbors yell for help.
It clearly was a damsel in distress.
Millarton heard this down the street.
My dancing partner and I are very close. This baby never goes too far away from me.
So he comes out of his home wearing his boxers, carrying his .50 caliber gun.
I got a shout to this man. I said, stop! Stop! I have a gun! Stop! And he completely ignored me.
He was afraid that the man would break into an 89-year-old neighbor's home and hide out.
So I said, stop or I will shoot you. And I fired my .50 onto the ground as a warning shot. And when this baby goes off, you know that I mean business.
He said the man kept going.
Once I approached the backyard, I realized that he was in my sights. He was holding his hands up and saying, please don't shoot me. And at which point I proceeded to tackle him with a stiff arm, like a running back would.
And I bet he did. You can imagine this. He was walking out with the gun in one hand, the suspect in the other, as Bellaire police were coming right down this street. We're live in Bellaire tonight. Ryan Korsgaard, KPRC Local 2.